because I am passionate about Facebook groups. I
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my favorite way to market. And Facebook groups really allows you to work like in a one-to-many kind of scenario, right? Where do you find your group members, especially at the beginning? Because it's hard at the beginning, right? Because you get 3 people and nobody else comes. So you beg your friends and family. That's where you start, right? Like, I'm starting this gardening group. I know you hate gardening, but you love me. So could you please just join this gardening group and post a couple things in it until I get a bigger audience? And then you can peace out and I won't even be mad at you, right? So sphere of influence, clients, those kind of things. Again, if it's community related, it's a lot easier because you know exactly who your audience is. Past clients, right? We know that a lot of our girls run these client VIP groups. That's pretty clear who you're going to invite to that. It's going to be your past client VIPs. Your vendors, this is a big one, you guys. Your inspector that you continue to send business to, your radon guy that you can continue to send business, the carpet cleaner, the window washer, all of these people that tell you they don't have money to sponsor your events. All right, well, if you don't have money, this is how you support me in my business, right? If you want me to continue sending business to you, this is what I need from you. I get it that you don't have the money and that's okay. You know, I still want to give my clients the best service, but this is how you can help me and I would really appreciate it. And have
also, sorry, Tara, I was going to say, I would also, if like, let's say you add your vendor to your group, like require that they add 50 new people. You know, expand your circle, use their circle to expand yours.
Yeah. Neighbors, right? Neighbors are kind of your sphere of influence. Obviously, if it's a neighborhood group, you can go through and add all of your neighbors.
Yeah, that's good.
Lauren is the queen of trolling similar groups, right? So if you have you know,
Oh, I know it's bad, but
no, it's perfect. It's exactly what you need to do, right? So if you have a babysitting group, then you're probably going to go into the local moms group and look for questions. I mean, you can literally use the search bar and say, search for babysitter in the local moms group, and then go back and answer all of those questions. Hey, did you know about this group that this is the local babysitting group? Here's a link, right? Try to follow the group rules of the people that you're trolling, right? Try to be respectful of that. But what other groups are going to have people that have similar interests, and invite them and look for posts that go with that, right? Maybe you have a golf group, right? So you're going to go into the local community groups and look for golf, and then be able to answer questions and feed people back into your group. You can grow really fast organically that way.
Yep.
Nextdoor direct messaging. This is like a ninja move that I've been using for years, and it works so good, especially if you run a neighborhood group or a community group. You just go in, you can see exactly who's part of those neighborhood groups, right? So I can see who's part of Meridian Village, you know, neighborhood group, or in Nextdoor, and I go and I DM them. When they join Nextdoor, I DM them and I'm like, oh my gosh, welcome to the neighborhood. So glad to have you here. You're probably going to see me walking around with my 2 wild boys and my French bulldog that doesn't walk well on the leash. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you know, but we also have a neighborhood Facebook group. I love it because we don't talk about da, 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 da. We only talk about community events and fun stuff that's going on. We'd love to have you here. Here's the link. Right? So you've welcomed them, you've acknowledged that they're new to the neighborhood, you've told them that you're going to see them in the neighborhood, and then you've invited them to this group. And of course, they're like, hey, awesome. I want to go to that group because I'm new to the neighborhood. Tracy.
Another little ninja move that I did, kind of similar to that. So I know yesterday I mentioned that I'm on the social committee. So another thing that I did on the social committee is I volunteered to be the welcoming wagon. So this way I can, number one, show my face to the new neighbors. Sometimes I even sold the house. So it's a nice icebreaker to say, hey, by the way, I was the realtor on this one. And this way I can invite them to join our Facebook group, which I am not the admin for, and get them into kind of like all the other things. We use something called Town Square as well, but it's just a way, like you said, to kind of get in front of their face get them on the social media platforms so that when they see me posting on there all the time, now they equate who I am and what I do.
I love that. You know, going back to, again, just for those of you who have big neighborhood Facebook groups that you're not the admin of, you need to find a group that you can create a subgroup that you are the admin of. Okay. So like Tracy, I love that you're doing that with the welcome wagon, but like come up with a Wives of Mayberry or whatever your neighborhood is, right? Like something that can be a subgroup. So it's not, you don't look like you're competing, right? It's a subgroup, but you can say, hey, do you know we have 2 neighborhood groups? We have this one, which is basically all the things that are going on in the neighborhood. And then we also have wives of, you know, whatever this is, so that because you have like, at some point you need to have control of that neighborhood, of that group, right? And that goes for, I know a lot of you guys are in there. So think of something, it could be moms, it could be wives, it could be a walking club, it could be a book club, it could be a wine club, it could be a bunko. I mean, there's 1,000 different little subgroups that you could do just to have your, because you need to have your own thing.
Yeah.
But I love that, Tracy. I love what you said about the welcoming committee. I know there's 9 out of 10 realtors would be like, why do I care? They just moved into the neighborhood. Well, you know what? Because they're statistically, they're not going to use their realtor again. So now you get to be the new relationship, right? That's perfect. You could also do like, you could have a generic postcard that you mail to everybody. Like if you work on a big, like, let's say it's a county one, right? That's bigger. You could have a postcard and every month you pull the sales, or every week you pull the sales that happen, and you just mail a postcard, and the postcard says, hey, have you joined, you know, the Parker community website here, community Facebook page, here's a QR code, join it now. Right? That takes you 10 minutes maybe, and you and 50 cents a postcard. And now all of a sudden, like I'll pay 50 cents a lead all damn day long, right? To have direct access to these people. So that's direct mail. You can also do direct mail, like in bulk. If you're going to start a community group or you're going to start a subgroup for your community, mail a postcard to every single person that's in that community. That just says, and make sure the postcard is clear too, right? Like, this is what it is. This is what we're going to talk about. You are our ideal audience for this. Don't say ideal audience on the postcard, but you know what I'm getting at. You can buy lists, right? So, let's say you're starting an investor group. You could buy a list, or you could get a list from your title company of everybody that owns a non-owner occupied property, and you could mail a postcard to them. You can run contests inside the group, right? So you can identify people as founding members and say, look, if you invite 10 people, and if you have a private group, it'll tell you who invited them. If you invite 10 people, you're going to be entered to win a night out at this awesome restaurant that's nearby you. People will do it.
Yep.
And then probably most importantly, and this is like a concept more than it is an action, keep the most valuable information behind the gate of the group. Does that make sense? So when you are on a mom's group and they're asking about where to get my carpet replaced at, you're not going to necessarily respond and say, here's my carpet guy. You're going to say, in this group, we have a list of 10 different carpet companies that our neighbors have worked with and have enjoyed working with. Does that make sense? So now they're coming back to the group. They're joining now if they're an ideal group member for you. But that way you're driving people back into your community, right? You're like, here, cross the gate with me. Come into my group. I'll show you all the good stuff, right?